Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're having a good week. Here north of Toronto in Ontario, it has been a hot, humid one. I hope everybody has been staying safe and trying to keep it cool. I'm Kathy. This is Yarn with Heart on June 21st. A warm welcome and a big thank you to all of you for being here. Very happy to share with you that we have all reached a milestone together in this channel. Someone, I don't know who, on YouTube has sent me a little note letting me know that people have watched on this channel over 10,000 views. And thank you for all the ways that you've encouraged me by watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You really have given me the courage to stay with this. I really do want to give back to the Yarny community and sharing where to find patterns, the events that I'm following, learning techniques, and sometimes tips that I think might be helpful when knitting and crocheting. And I'm not really technical, so I'm very grateful to those who have offered tips about the technical part, and I would not have been able to get past the first few videos without those who have helped me along the way. And you know, all of you, how much you've helped me, and I thank you. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you'll find something interesting here and that you'll stay with me for a little while. This video this week will be about a completed hat and scarf and a bit about a regret about the scarf, a start on a child's blanket, and that one is going to be part of the tropical bird of the month for this month. I'm gonna have to be busy with that one so I can get it completed in time. A completed shawl made with knitting and yarn that I will be using to complete a shawl for a prayer shawl for a friend. Now, a quick note about how to find the patterns and any events that I mention. Those will be linked or typed into the description box below. Now, next week will, I hope, be about another hat for the Crochet Along for a Cause event, and hopefully the completed child's blanket, possibly a start on a crocheted prayer shawl. So if you will please subscribe and ring the notification bell, you won't miss that next video coming on June 28th. So the first thing that I'd like to talk with you about would be, first I should let you know I live in an apartment, and some people in an apartment in the building are doing some renovation. So this video today might be a little bit choppy. I might have to start and stop a few times, because if they start some drilling, I will stop and then restart as that construction sound comes in and out. It goes throughout the building when they start to drill. So just advance notice about that. So the first item, this is a block stitch, and it was part of the Crochet Along for a Cause, the block stitch beanie by Brianne Maudlin from Hooked on Homemade Happiness. I used a 4mm hook, and the yarns were a purple yarn by the pound bag, and then the pink was tangled yarn that I got from Cambridge Fibers. And I don't think the pattern is available yet as a paid pattern, but it definitely is available as part of that crochet event that Brienne is having. So what I did after I had finished this hat, I made the hat to fit a small adult or a teen, and then I thought I would, as I always do, make either a scarf or a cowl to go with it. I started using that same stitch in the scarf. Now, what I didn't realize until I had started was that every single row, when it was being done in rows, left me with ends. And now I regret that I didn't do this as a matching cowl, because when it's done in rows like the hat, you didn't have to do all of that yarn ends like this. So that is a tip, I guess, when using this stitch, and a regret about what I did for this set. I ended up doing a few rows in this stitch, and then I switched and I decided to do a few contrasting stitches in each of the colors. So I did some in the pink and then some in the purple. And I'll try it on so you can see the length that I decided. And of course I'll tie these ends in. I just left them so that I could show just how much with each of these. I did tie the ends in on this side, but you can imagine with all of these ends on both sides how difficult it would be unless one decided to put fringe on both ends. That would be another alternative. You could fringe the scarf, and then that would be a good way to use this stitch in a scarf. So that's the first item that I completed that set. The second that I completed is the Chevron Charm Coaster, and this was by Jessica A's. I used 4mm needles, and a 4.5mm hook was used briefly. This is, upside down, no? Yeah, upside down, there we go. I have trouble reading my knit stitches, so no, I was right the first time. Sorry. There we go, that's correct. I'm still new enough to knitting that reading my knit stitches is something that I'm still learning about. I have no idea which way is the correct way with this, so I'm so sorry. Thank you for understanding. This is a pattern available on Ravelry. It was part of the Double Dare event. The event came with a free copy of this pattern and limited time access to all the Zoom calls from the event. As you can see, each side, it's reversible, and it's a double thickness, so that was quite good. Yeah, access to those Zoom calls is available for free until tomorrow, June 22nd, and after that, it will be a class available for a fee by Jessica. So I did enjoy this very much. I'm really happy that I signed up for her event, and when she has future events, I look forward to hearing about those because she's a really good teacher. I learned so much, and more than just the double knitting. I learned a lot of other techniques as I was participating in this one. So thank you, Jessica, for that. Now, the next completed item, Way leans on to Way. This was by Romi Hill, and people who've been here for a little while, you know, this has been a labor of love. I've been working on this since April 26. I've used Premier Bamboo Fair in the colors Dove and this was Fossil. I didn't use that one. I used the colors Dove, and this one was Dove, and this one was Ivory. I used a 3.75 millimeter hook. It took me quite a lot longer than other people to complete it, probably about 3 weeks longer, because I'm a slower knitter, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. It was well worth it. I'm not going to show the finished shawl until the end of the video because there are some people who are also working on this shawl, and I would want to not do a spoiler for anyone who might want to continue with this as a mystery knit along. So I'm so grateful to Gina from the Knitting Turnpike who gifted me this pattern. I learned so much about lace, about new stitches. I learned a new cast on, a new bind off. I learned how to use lifelines, stitch markers in a different way, and all of these techniques were demonstrated by Rosemary in her lives on her Romi Hill website, her Romi Hill YouTube channel. So I did really like this whole experience. I did slow down her videos a bit when I was learning the new techniques, and the demonstrations of those, I practiced some of those using scrap yarn until I knew how to do them on my big project. So that saved me some frogging. That's a tip. If you're learning something new, maybe try it in scrap yarn. So as some of you know, this is not perfect. There's some stitches that were a little bit out of place, and I don't know enough to know how to fix those, but that's okay. If one looks close, there are a few stitch mistakes, but for a first try at lace, all is well. So if you're looking for a pattern that's really fun to do and will keep you interested in what you're doing, and you'll learn a lot of new things along the way as you unravel the mystery, I highly recommend this one. And the final shawl is beautiful. And if you're new to knitting, just take this at a slower pace like I did. So, and the spoiler alert, I will show this finished shawl. I will put it at the very end of the video after I say goodbye, so that I will not ruin any surprises. So any future knitters who might be doing this knit along will still be able to participate with the mystery. So I will put information about how to find this pattern in the description box, and also about the Romi Hill channel, and Jessica A's channel will be in the description box. So now I will talk to you and let everybody know about my work in progress. Last week I showed you some yarn that I had started working with, and this yarn, Loops and Threads Soft Classic. It is, I found where they have, oh, they're starting I'm gonna stop the video here. They're starting with the construction sound. I'll be back. Here I am, I'm back. Okay, let's continue and see how that goes. I think I was talking about this Loops and Threads yarn. I did find where on here they have the name of the color. Last week I was having difficulty in the store and again on the video finding the name of the color. This definitely is the color Spa, and on the blanket I am also using the color White. And I have been really enjoying this blanket. Now, it is called, oops, hold on one second while I get everything untangled. Here we go. It is called the Garter Rib Baby Blanket. And it's by Orange Flower Yarn. It's a free download on Ravelry. And I'm using a 5.5 needle and this Loops and Threads Soft Classic yarn. Now, the pattern is, it says in the pattern, it's for personal, non-commercial use, and items can be sold for charity. Charity auctions or fundraisers. Yeah. So I'm going to be donating this one to the Ottawa Blanket Drive, and I will link down below in case anyone else would like to check out that blanket drive. And it's one that I've made one blanket for, but I did want to do a second one. I chose the color that is closest to the Tropical Bird of the Month by Judy. I'll put a picture of the bird up here, and I thought this color matched the head of the bird quite well. Mostly I've been working from my stash, but I needed to buy for this one as I didn't have that particular shade of blue or green. So this one I did buy a yarn in the Spa color. So I hope it's a good match. And so far, this is how far I've gotten so far with this blanket. Now, I'll show the texture up close. And I'm gonna have to be a busy little knitter if I want to get this finished in time for the Tropical Bird of the Month, to get it as part of the to be part of the submissions for that event. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show, I have some yarn here, and this will be from Crochet. It's 3 colors that I'm going to be using in a future shawl. These are in the colors White, Freesia, and Eggplant. One second. And this will be part of a prayer shawl that I'll be making for a friend. So just a hint, some of the Brava is on sale at We Crochet, and also on sale at Knit Picks. They just started their summer sale. I'm not going to be purchasing this year, but I have purchased often in the past. The Canadian exchange is just not gonna allow for it. So they do have a value pack of Brava Sport, and one of those colors is on sale for 40% off during this event. So just a little hint about that. I'm going to be looking forward to chatting about that prayer shawl next Friday. So for those of you who would like to stay and see the Way Leads On to Way shawl, I will be showing that shortly. For others, I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, enjoy your knitting and enjoy your crochet. Now, I'm going to get that Way Leads On to Way shawl. And here we go. Hopefully, the sound of that construction is not too loud. They haven't really started being loud as yet, so hopefully it's okay. I have not blocked this shawl yet. That's the reason, well, two reasons. That's one of the reasons that the yarn ends are not tied in. I won't tie those in until after I've blocked it. Also, I did not finish this shawl until 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just finished it last night at 2 in the morning. And I hadn't time. Even if I had wanted to, I would not have been able to get all those ends tied in. So this is my finished shawl. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. And again, enjoy your crochet, enjoy your knitting, and I hope to see you next week. Take care, everyone.